Hello, and welcome back. Welcome back. Oh, gosh, forgot to move this down. Hello, welcome back to the Heinz Reports Case Files edition. I go by the name of Dr. Heinz, and thank you so much for tuning in into the transcript reading of Grace Jabbari's cross examination, and that's what we have in store for you today. We have been revisiting the Jonathan Majors trial since it's pretty much ended. We've done interviews on this particular channel. You can go check them out in regards to Jonathan Majors, as well as other interviews in regards to Amber Heard, etc. But the live stream, they're all in the live stream tab available there, and they're all wrapped up in a neat little package in a playlist form, right for you to check out. But yeah, we have been covering this case, and sentencing is pretty much should be it's next month, I believe it was reported to have been. And yeah, going through these transcripts is giving us an idea of what was going on in court, what Priya was basically arguing, what ADA or Assistant District Attorney Galloway was, saying in regards to this, was basically asking Grace what their strategy was, and that's basically it, really. So we are basically exploring all of those in these live streams that we've been doing. You can also find the article that we have done in regards to the coverage of these live streams as well on the drheinz.info website. Now, before we continue, let's just go through a little recap of what happened on the previous stream, because this was when we were transitioning from the direct into the cross-examination, and a lot of foundational information was being laid out by Priya, and pretty much we got to learn a lot about what Grace Jabbari was testifying, and what she was basically testifying to a lot of, and what she was basically not testifying, but the truth or the substance of her testimonies. There was a lot of mental gymnastics going, well, not really mental gymnastics, but a lot of good strategies, because I believe Priya understood that she comes from a family of lawyers, and she basically had a massive, in my opinion, I don't know how these trials work. I don't know how attorneys plan their examinations, whether it be direct or cross, but I had a feeling that in regards to strategy. I had a feeling that in regards to this particular witness, that Priya would have to be a lot more firm than she probably is. I haven't really, a lot of people have said that she is quite a good attorney, that she is quite hard lined. Maybe that's her reputation. She does seem like that from a few of the podcasts that I've seen her on, and and how she comes across. She does come across as firm, and no nonsense. So when I was seeing a lot of what she was going through on the previous, on the going against Grace Jabbari, it was just it was controlling her, basically trying to get her to just stick to the questions, yes or no, and all of those things. So yeah, I'm gonna try and make this recap as concise as possible, because I do realize I do take quite a bit of time on the recaps. So I'm gonna try and make it as quick as possible. But basically, essentially, they laid a lot more groundwork, and they asked, and Priya basically asked a lot more question to try and establish that maybe there's more to the story that you have heard, jury, on from that direct exam. We got to understand Grace's minimization a lot more here, because she really downplays her alleged. Can I say alleged? She really downplays her alcoholism. It came out, and again, if you've seen the live stream when the trial was going on, Danny Does Law, who is now on YouTube, Danny Does That. You can go check her out on that at. But she basically, everything that she was testifying to was concise and was consistent with what I'm reading here. So she was asked in regards to Sag Herber, she being Grace Jabbari, was asked in regards to Sag Harbor, I can't say that word properly. Sorry guys. Sag Harbor, and what was basically happening there. And it came out that the context behind Sag Harbor was Grace Jabbari being controlling in regards to Jonathan Major's schedule. And Jonathan was basically telling her, hey, do not plan your life around my schedule. Like and they were and Priya was trying to establish that this was basically who was in control of this relationship, who was basically wearing the pants in this relationship. That was basically the that was basically the essence of the testimony that was at play. So we stopped, I believe we stopped last time on, I believe it was page 213. We're gonna go there and we're gonna continue the reading from page 213. But before we do go there, make sure you hit that like button and hit that share button also. And engage in the chat as well. All of these things helps with the algorithm. Let me know who you are, say hi, all of those things. But yeah, if you're a new subscriber or a new viewer, welcome to the Heinz report. We do legal cases over here. We have a lot of legal cases planned in the future, so such as the Courtney Clinic case that is due to go to court very soon. We have a lot more content in regards to the interviews conducted for the Deb V. Heard documentary. So basically, yeah, so there is a lot to come out in the pipeline. Do watch this space. Of course, goes without saying, hit that subscribe button, and we're going to get on with the stream. To the chat, Sana Deck says, if your supposed partner says don't plan your life around my schedule, then 100 is over. What's up? Welcome to the live, Sana. Welcome. I appreciate seeing you here. Sana is an can I maybe they do maybe I'm not sure if it's a he or she. Sana is a guy's name, Nigerian as well. I believe it's a Nigerian name. So it's pretty much, it can be guy, it can be girl, but they are basically OG. I can call him or her OG because they've been here since day one, like literally since the trial started and Danny Law Does Law was appearing. Sana was the first one here, so I appreciate you, Sana, for always returning, always coming back. I really do appreciate you. Thank you so much for your comments. I really enjoy reading them out. And I know you like that Scary Movie 3, I think it was, or Scary Movie 2, I don't know. So it's such a stupid movie. I don't care. It's the stupidest movie I've ever seen. But anyway, we stopped on page 254. We're gonna go straight to that page. I scrolled too far down to page 254 is where we had stopped. Right there. So I'm gonna start on page 252 so that we can kind of set the scene and recollect our memories on where we stop. So it says the cross-examination is as follows. Basically goes, that's correct. Yes, the question was, and at some point in the morning when you were speaking with Holly, you asked Holly to call the American number because you couldn't find that phone. So just to recap here, at this point it was established that Grace had two phones. One Jonathan gave to her, an iPhone, which I assume would be the latest iPhone. Jonathan gave it to her. It wasn't even gave. It was basically rented to her, basically, and because she needed a phone to use while she was in America. So Jonathan just said, "Okay, you can take this phone," and basically got her the phone. When the relationship was done, Jonathan basically said, okay, let me have the phone back. She didn't give the phone back. She still has the phone, and they're basically just going through that now. This dual phone conundrum. And before you left with the police, you did find the American number, right? I think so, yeah. And you took the phone with you as you left, right? Yes, I think so. I can't remember. You took the phone. You did not give a copy of the phone to the DA. I was sustained. Don't know why. I actually don't know what that would be. You were asked by Mr. Majors to return the phone, just like we said. No, she says no. Says, is it your testimony to that? Is it your testimony? The DA never asked, never relayed to you that Mr. Majors had asked for his phone back. Not that day, a few weeks later. So she basically, what essentially she has done is throw the DA, in my opinion, under the bus, because what this is saying to me is it can't have been. I mean, it can't have been like that they got the phone and they were seeing and they saw her this day, because it was firmly established that she saw the DA this day. But she said, oh no, they didn't tell me that day, but they told me a few weeks later. Okay. I mean, come on, man. But yeah, you were asked for the phone back a few weeks later, right? Yes. And you did not return it, did you? No. So basically, what you're basically saying is you did not have any intention to return it. They told you to return it. You didn't do it. So they would this is the behavior I was talking about. Exhibit million and two is basically showing the minimization patterns, or the excusing of her behavior to to justify why still to basically show that she would hang on to the possessions that Jonathan had done, which to me is still weird, because I mean, come on, this is the guy that you're living in fear. You don't think he might come crashing through your house to get the phone back? Listen, whether you like it or not, abusers, the real abusers, I'm not talking about this fake for show kind of abusers. Real abusers do not give a damn about the law. They don't give a damn about anything. They will look at ways to use to control you. If they gave you the phone, they would make sure, and this is something I didn't mention on the previous stream, but you have to consider the possibility that this abuser may use this phone as an excuse to see you, to come around your house, to stalk you even, because now they can use the law and weaponize it against you, saying she has my property. I'm trying to retrieve my property. They can. So if you're living in fear of this man, this doesn't come through your head that I have his property and this man might come to my house one day. He knows where I live. He might even come with the police saying that I stole this from him and he's going to see me again. I'm not going to have my independence again like I finally liberated myself from. This is why I say there seems to be inconsistencies with what she has to say and the framing of that whole I live in fear of him. And you did not turn over any photos you took from Mr. Majors. It was an objection. It was sustained. Don't know what the answer was. The DA never asked to see that phone that Mr. Majors owned that you took with you, did they? Relevancy was sustained. Moving on from the phone, and yeah, I think it was 254. We stopped. I think it was a break when we stopped here. There was a break here, and when we stopped last time. So, we're gonna. Okay, so it says, so they right here they do return from that break. Is page 254 now. They return from that break. So we have established the context. Here we go. Ms. Jabbari, yesterday you were asked by the people about what happened after you got out of the car you got out of the car the first time, sorry, and you found those people on the street in front of the apartment. Do you remember that? This would be Max and Chloe Zellner. I don't know Max's last name, but they were the couple that were fighting on the CCTV. Yes. Grace says that she remembers, and you testified about Mr. Majors walking by you again. Do you remember that? Yes. And you testified about Mr. Majors turning the corner and you going after him. Is that right? Yes. And you testified that you followed him around the corner partially because he was still your boyfriend, right? Yes. And that you were feeling like you had no explanation, correct? Yes. And you said that Mr. Majors was quite loud. Is that right? Yes. And you testified that you said, no, let's do this in the car, right? Yeah, at some point in that conversation, yes. And the reason was that because you just didn't want anyone to watch or see anything. Is that right? Yes. And isn't an effect that you yourself were being very loud on that corner? Perhaps. I don't know what very loud, but I wasn't whispering. I was probably talking and wanting him to hear. Were you screaming? I don't believe I was screaming. So when you were around the corner from where you found those people in front of 129 Lafayette, and you were speaking to Mr. Majors, is your testimony. You were not screaming, just to be clear. I don't believe I was screaming, no. Your Honor, at this time, we would like to offer the second video of the 129 Lafayette with audios based on the questions that's denied. Oh, come on, Judge. What? What was the question? What was the question? That's weird to me. I don't know why you would deny that. I don't see what was wrong with the questions. It was just to establish that. Okay. She's okay. Never mind. Ms. Jabbari, have you seen this video? Which video? Sorry. Have you seen any videos from 129 Lafayette from the corner? When I met Chloe and her friends? Yes. Yes. How many videos from that night right in front of that building have you seen? I believe just the one that we watched yesterday. Have you seen any videos from around the corner of that building? I think everything I've seen is what we have seen yesterday. Would it refresh your recollection on the question of whether you were screaming to watch the video when you were around the corner that we didn't see? I'm going to object, Judge. That's not responsive to the question. That's weird. How do you sustain that? She didn't even answer. What? That's not responsive to the question. But Priya asked the question. The wizard didn't even answer. At any point when you saw Mr. Majors again, were you speaking loudly to him? I'm sorry, Judge. If we could just clarify it again, I'm not sure where we are in the timeline or location. Judge says, all right, just ask the question again, or have it read back. At any point after Mr. Majors walked by, you went. At any point when Mr. Majors walked by you, when you had found Chloe and her friends in front of 129 Lafayette, were you shouting at him? I don't think I was shouting. I think I was speaking to him, pleading with him. I wasn't shouting at the top of my lungs or anything like that. What were you saying to him? Just saying, I just needed to get my bag and my phone from the vehicle. You weren't asking who those text messages were from? That's a very good question. See what I mean? It's like, oh, she knows what she did was bad, but let me minimize and just say I was doing this rather than doing that. At one point, perhaps, it was, I think we were by the car and we were still as opposed to the walking. May we approach, Your Honor? And bear in mind, in the direct examination, we have firmly understood that in the car, she was asking about the text messages. Bear that in mind. Ms. Jabbari, after you were on that corner with Chloe and her friends, Mr. Majors turned the corner back towards the car, correct? I'm unsure if the car was there at this point. I just know he turned the corner. And you turned the corner also? Yes. And after you turned the corner, you turned the corner to follow Mr. Majors, correct? Correct, yes. And after you and Mr. Majors turned that corner, were you shouting at Mr. Majors? I don't believe I was shouting at him. Your Honor, yes. Are you sure you weren't shouting at him? That's sustained. I'd ask another question. I don't know what's wrong with this question, to be honest. I'm actually struggling to find out what's wrong with this question. Can you describe how it is that you were speaking to Mr. Majors. Just yeah, I was just kind of saying I need my bag, my phone. Chloe was also trying to help me get that. Can you describe your own tone when you were saying those things? Pleading, I would say probably. What about the volume? Loud enough to hear, but I wasn't shouting. Miss Jabbari, isn't it true that you were screaming at Mr. Majors once you turned the corner from Howard and Lafayette? I don't believe I was screaming. No, Your Honor. I now offer that video with sound. Okay, the judge asked to come up for the sidebar. Is most likely denied. But the thing is, what Priya was trying to do is go around the hearsay. From now seeing the full context, she was trying to go around the hearsay rule by saying the foundation and saying that basically she's denying shouting, she's denying doing all this. But the thing is, at least I can see where the judge is coming from, because denying shouting and behaviors wouldn't be an exception to hearsay, because she's not denying saying anything technically. If she was to deny, oh, I didn't say that, or oh, I didn't do this, then that gets to come in. But it's just shouting on that, so it was kind of a long shot. Now seeing everything, yeah, it makes sense why even after the foundation it still wouldn't be enough. Ms. Jabbari, the DA's office has provided certain financial benefits to you as a result of this incident, isn't that right? I don't believe. No. Were you not provided? Did you not? Let me go back. You were assigned a victim advocate through the district attorney's office, correct? What do you mean? To someone to liaise with? Do you know someone, Raquel Jefferson? Do you know someone named Raquel Jefferson? Sorry, guys. Yes. And that's someone who is a victim's advocate working with the district attorney's office. Correct? Yes. You've been emailing with this person. I've emailed her. Yes. And in fact, you emailed her on July 7th, 2023 with your medical bill from Bellevue, correct? That's correct, yes. And that was a bill of $4,909.65. Whoa, taxpayers paid that, by the way. Correct, yes. And you sent that because you wanted the district attorneys to help pay for that medical bill, right? Yes. Did they pay for that medical bill? I haven't heard the result of that yet. But you did ask for that, right? Yes. Basically, what she's trying to establish is she would do anything for the DA, including lie for them. And in addition, you put in a claim for stating that the clothing worth $750 needed to be replaced because of this incident. Is that correct? Lots of my items hadn't been returned to me, and they asked me, and I replied with that. Yes. Objection, non-responsive, move to strike. No, that was responsive. The judge just shutting down everything. Was your claim that it was $750 of clothing that needed to be replaced? Yes or no? Yes. And you also made a claim saying that, so first of all, on the clothing, Ms. Jabbari, what clothing of yours was damaged because of this incident? None. You also, so why would you make the claim? All right, this is good because at least it's establishing that she has the propensity to the capacity, I believe. I believe that's the right word to use here. Anyway, you also stated that personal hygiene products of $250 needed to be replaced. Is that right? Yes. And you were in fact given $1,000 to replace these items by the district attorney's office. No. As the district attorney's office provided reimbursement for any of your claim damage as a result of this incident? No. But you have put in applications saying that you had moving costs related to this incident. Don't recall that. Would anything reflect your recollection? I guess so, yes. You have filled out forms to the victim services unit, right? Yes, like a compensation. Like, what sort of compensation did you ask for? Anything that wasn't returned? Anything that was at my apartment still? I believe, and also the ambulance fee and the hospital fee, and that he called and the damage he caused me. I asked for some support in that. And the district attorney's office paid for your travel from the UK to here, correct? Yes. And they are paying for your accommodations, correct? Yes, while I testify. What about while you testify? Is that what you while you testify? Is that what you said? Just while I'm testifying, yes. So you testified that you were here over the weekend meeting with the district attorney's office in person, correct? Yes. And you therefore flew here before you met with them in person, correct? Yeah, perhaps I worded that wrong. They provided my travel as I'm testifying, and then also accommodation up until when I finish testifying, and then I will stay with my sister. That I don't. How does that help your case? That's not making her look good, by the way. I mean, you have your sister here. You just why would you for? But anyway, the jury is probably listening to this and be like, okay, okay, okay. Based on the verdict, they were like, okay, this we don't care about this. But what this should establish in people's mind is she has motive to lie, and she is someone that will utilize everything that's within her, whatever she can use, basically. And that's basically what the same pattern of behavior that she was doing with Majors, based on what was established in the testimony from yesterday regarding Sagaba, etc. I arrived on, I don't know what day it is now. I think I flew on Friday. I hope I've not said that wrong. So whatever, Friday until now, I've been in a hotel, and when I'm finished on the stand, I'll go to my sister's house. And in addition, the district attorney is paying for your meals while you are here, correct? No. So they're stopping there. So that's what you're saying. You basically had this moral conscience. This attorney, you don't have to pay for my bills, but you can pay for everything else. Not my meals. Okay, that's fair enough. That's fair. That's really fair enough. Right. Okay. Have they offered to pay for your meals? I don't know. Had they given you something called per diem? I don't know. I haven't seen it if they have. Has the district attorney's office told you to submit any receipts associated with food and taxis you are taking while you're here? No. Let me just set the timer 1 second. I forgot to set the timer for today. Let me just quickly. Oh, damn it. Okay. JM. Oh, no, that's not right. That's not the right time. So, oh, damn. A bit into the stream. So maybe 65 minutes, 70 minutes. Okay, there we go. Right. So, in addition, are you aware that the district attorney's office is paying for your friend Holly Blakey to fly from London? Objection as to relevance, that is sustained. Ms. Jabbari, you know that you were wanted by the NYPD since June of this year for assaulting Mr. Majors, right? Objection sustained. You knew that the NYPD had issued an I-card for your arrest as of June this year, correct? I don't believe I knew that in June. I can't remember the exact month I found out about that. Is there anything that will refresh your recollection? Whenever it came out in the press was when I found out. At the time, you texted Miss Galloway the story in the press, correct? Potentially, yes. And that was on June 27th that you sent the story to Miss Galloway, correct? Yes. That's when I found out. And you knew as of June 30th that it was Detective Mejia who wanted to arrest you, correct? I didn't know that they wanted to arrest me. No. I knew that was it. That was what was in the press. Ms. Jabbari, you were represented, you had a lawyer in June of this year, correct? Like a advocate, support lawyer, pro bono situation. And you know that your lawyer spoke with the district attorney's office about Mr. Mejia, correct? Am I allowed to talk about what I spoke about with my lawyer? I'm sorry. I'm unsure what to say. You could answer. Yeah, okay, thank you. Yes. You didn't want to be arrested, did you? No. You did not turn yourself to be arrested to Detective Mejia until October 25th, did you? Objection, that's sustained. You turn yourself in voluntarily surrendered to be arrested on October 25th, right? Yes. Oh yeah, speculation. That most likely the objection. and the detective who arrested you processed the arrest was Detective Mejia, correct? Correct. Yes. So we're gonna sidebar here for a second. I'm gonna go to the chat before I say a few things. Sana, you know me, bro. Thank you. So the Dove is also an OG that's been here from day one. So the Dove has been here literally since day one. I mean, from my Deb V Heard coverage, and in regards to those streams there. So shout out to you, Sir Duff. Thank you for returning. Hey to you also. Which he runs to strangers on the street, then goes to party with them with no hint of fear. Of course, I mean, I'm not gonna hold that one against her, to be honest. I know a lot of people do. I'm not trying to be contrarian or anything like that. But I do think, based on the situation, I probably would have done the same thing. I can be that type of person that if I been through something distressing, I would look as avenues to vent or process. What I wouldn't do is spend money that's not mine. But then again, I'm a guy, she's a girl. Maybe this is a girl thing that they would do. That's not me trying to be, stereotyping women or anything like that. But let's admit here, women do get away with a lot more things. Just saying. Don't want to get myself in trouble. Don't want to have, legion of women against me. But that does happen. So I do feel like if it was a man, I doubt they would do something like this. In my, I wouldn't do something like this. But yeah, but it's neither here or there at that point. I'm just saying that it would be likely that I would do the same thing. I just wouldn't spend the money. So she either has no self-preservation of danger, or she's full of exactly. That's what I was basically saying in regards to that analogy. Sorry, not analogy. I don't know if that's the right word, but that's what I was basically alluding to, because this would be your fear. Like you have your ex's property, who made you live in fear, who you say was abusing you. You have his stuff. You're basically keeping that feather alive. You're trying to. This guy could be in your life at any point. Yeah. Solo Dove, they wanted to show she was shouting and screaming at him, yet he was still calm with her. Yep, I agree. So she got free monies. Yep, she did. Seemed like running up other people's bills. Yep. So she found out in the press, but runs to office runs to press to tell all. I'm not sure if she ever spoke to the press, if I'm being honest with you. I can't remember reading any statements by Grace Jabbari. But yeah. Sanadek says it looks like Priya is highlighting corrupt practices by the office. Yeah, I agree. And I do think, I mean, just for completeness, she did testify that she didn't receive this reimbursements or anything like that. But it doesn't really matter at this point, because the DA is not gonna really be forthcoming with that. I can't wait to see that how they do this on redirect, because I'll be honest, it does look like she is paid to come in and lie. She knows there's no damage to any of our items, and there hasn't been damage to any of our items, but still she wants compensation for what he has put in. Okay, it just seems to me like you fought because you're not gonna marry this guy. Let's be serious. Because you fought, you're not gonna marry this guy. This was your way of getting it back. Getting back what you would have got if you did marry him, have to go through divorce, and then reach a settlement, because she's not gonna get anything in just a no fault divorce. If it was under like 10 years or something, it's not gonna be worth jack. It's gonna be but in terms of Major's valuation, it still will be life changing. But yeah, I'm just saying, judging by how all of this happens, the way that she basically felt entitled to even make the applications. Oh, yeah, it's caused me this damage, caused me that damage. Not that You don't have a right to. You do. But to lie about it and say there was this damages claim, basically, that's a yeah. Yes, showing the money they wasted on our trial on this trial. From the looks of it, she DA spending about 10 grand on her alone. Exactly. And that's taxpayers' money, by the way, guys. Taxpayers' money. But yeah, make sure that you hit that like button if you are enjoying the stream. And also make sure you share the stream with your friends, family, Bigfoot, whoever is out there in the Himalayas, whoever, let them know that we are, streaming the Jonathan Majors trial, going through Grace Jabbari's cross-examination. Trust me, it is worth the watch. It is worth the watch. And of course, check out the channel for more and more content that we have. We are releasing more interviews from the Depth v. Her docuseries that we have. And also, you can check out the previous live streams that we have done on this particular case and more cases. It's all in a neat little podcast form for you right there. And also, we have launched our memberships. You can get custom-made emojis. Consider becoming a member for just 99 pence. If you want to upgrade your membership to see exclusive content, etc., it will be £4.99, but 99 pence, which would be $1 something in the or whatever currency you are at. It will help keep the channel going. But yeah, you can consider becoming a member. I will be updating the perks for for those that sign up to be members of the Heinz Hall, where you get to see more, and you can get more perks for being on the Condiment Island, which is where you get the the ketchup bottle emoji you can use. Condiment Island. Get it? Laugh. Okay. Let's get back to the stream. The reading, I should say. So going back here, it says, and you turn yourself in after the district attorney's office promised you that you would not be prosecuted in the arrest, correct? No, I wouldn't say that. Can you repeat the question? Do you want it read or rephrased? No, I just want you to repeat the question. Sorry, can you read it? No, I wouldn't say that's correct. The district attorney's office did notify you that they were going to prosecute you for the arrest by dictatorial measure, correct? Sustained. Here will be hearsay, of course. You know that the district attorney's office has declined to prosecute you for that arrest, correct? I do know that. Yes. And you knew as of September, correct? No, that's not correct. May we approach? No, let's move on. This judge is so bad. But to be quite fair, I see where the judge is coming from. You're trying to go around all these things when all you have to do is plead self-defense. All you have to do, and the judge knows it. The judge actually knows it. The district attorney's office promised you that your arrest will be secret, correct? So hearsay, and that was sustained. Ms. Jabbari, you made it a condition of testifying that the district attorney take no action on the arrest of you. Isn't that true? That is incorrect. Is it your testimony that you would have been willing to testify even if the district attorney had prosecuted you? Yes. So that means what Priya has got her to do here is admit that she would not have pleaded the fifth had the prosecution pursued the case, which is strange because now it raises questions with the prosecution. And you conveyed that to the district attorney. I don't think I was asked. We didn't speak about that. I spoke strictly with my victim advocate lawyer about the issue. And you got a desk appearance ticket, right? When you were arrested. I'm still unsure what the process was. I know that I went in like maybe a ticket thing. You never went to court, right? No. Ms. Jabbari, you've been asked speaking with the district attorneys in this case and also a victim's advocate, correct? Yes. And you said your own lawyer is a victim's advocate lawyer, correct? Yes. And you said that your sister lives in the United States. She's a lawyer, correct? She's a UK lawyer. She's not practicing right now. She's being a mother too. Miss Jabbari, are you aware that non-US citizens who claim to be domestic violence victims, objection sustained. You didn't have a visa to work in the United States, sustained. I wouldn't know what the objections would be for here. Once you have applied for a visa in the United States, right? Probably this is all probably relevance. Then it's probably just relevance. Did Mr. Majors ever pay for a lawyer to help you get a visa? Relevance. Miss Jabbari, you testified on direct about not being able to work when you first moved in with Mr. Majors. Can you explain why that was? Yeah, my O1, I don't know what O1 is, which is like an artist visa, was in process. We didn't find out about it until January, so I wasn't able to work until then. When you say find out about it, what do you mean? Got the result from the visa people? What was the result? That I got the visa, and you got it in January of 2023, correct? Yes. And after that, did you do any work in New York? I worked in the UK actually after that. Did you do any work in the United States after you got a visa? No. And who assisted you with the paperwork of that visa? It is relevance. It is, yep, sustained. Ms. Jabbari, I want to ask you about your call with your friend or Holly on the morning of March. You called, is it Blakey or Blakely? See, I was confused too. It's Blakey. So I was confused too. But if you notice on the thumbnails when she was testifying or when I was going for a transcript, it was Blakely. Who knows? You called Miss Blakey at 7:56 in the morning, right? I believe so. Yes. And you did that through WhatsApp, correct? Yes. So there is a call log. And when the police came and you spoke to them, you did not tell the police that you had spoken to Miss Blakey, did you? Objection, improper foundation, and it is sustained. Miss Jabbari, when the police came, they asked you questions, correct? Yes. And one of the questions they asked you was, what was the last thing you remember? Is that right? Possibly. Yeah. It was quite an overwhelming situation. They asked me a lot of questions. Did they ask you about what's the last thing that you remember? Most likely, yes. And they were asking you how it is that you found. Let me start again. Sorry, guys. And they were asking you how it is that you found you were on the closet, correct? Yes. And you told them several things about what you remember, correct? Objection to form sustained. You did tell them things about what happened before they found you, correct? Yes. And you didn't tell the police that you were texting with anybody before they found you, did you? Whoa! No, that is, they're saying form, but I don't see what's improper about that. What would be form is characterization. So how is this characterized to view? Maybe no, I don't know. I don't think that should be I don't think that should have been sustained. So at any point when you come up for discussion, I don't know, man. That was a bit unfair because they still have to get their theory of the case across. So that's a bit weird. Why she couldn't ask a question about her communications and what she told to the police officer or officers. Sorry, Ms. Jabbari, you spoke to Miss Blakey that morning. How many conversations did you have with her? Multiple. It was more than one. I would have to my memory be refreshed to tell me exactly how many. The first one was after 7:56 in the morning, correct? I think so. Therefore, all those conversations would be between 7:56 and just after 11 when the police found you, right? Can you repeat that? Sorry. When you say you had multiple conversations with Miss Blakey, you're talking about the time period 7:56 in the morning and when the police found you in the closet, right? Yes, yes. And you also sent your friend Holly some photos, correct? Yes. But you did not send her all the photos you are taking in the bed that morning, right? Correct. And you spoke with your friend Holly around 8:15, is that right? Yeah, again, I would have to have my memory refreshed for the exact time. But if that's what it says there, yes. You told your friend you were scrappy with Mr. Majors, right? Yes. And you also told her that you didn't exactly know. Sorry, let me start again. And you also told her that you didn't know exactly how your finger injury happened. Yes. And you told this jury earlier that you could not lie on the right side of your head. Is that right? Yes. But you told your friend Holly there was blood in the pillow, right? Yeah, there could have been blood in the pillow. That would be the blood from your ear on the right side of your head, correct? Yes, it was in my hair and my ear. But you told your friend there was blood on the pillow, correct? Yeah, I can't remember exactly what I said, but probably if there was, yeah. Well, was there blood on the pillow? Yeah, I believe there was blood. Just it's hard to say that I looked at everything. I kind of got up and just try to deal with it all. If I said to her on the phone there was blood, then yeah, there was probably blood on the pillow. Did you take a photo of the blood on the pillow? No. And you texted with your friend Holly at 9:19 that morning, correct? Sidebar, sidebar, sidebar. It just hit me why she was going through this line of questioning. It literally just hit me. She's trying to establish that she likely done the injury to herself. Because if she was lying on the right hand side and it was paining her, and she told her friend about it, and there was blood on the pillow as she told her friend about it, and she was taking pictures of her hand, why wouldn't she take a picture of the blood on the pillow? Was blood found on the pillow by the police? No, because it was only vomit that was found on the pillow. So the bleeding ear, when did that occur? Right. Interesting. Chats, not mentioning calls or texts, avoiding timelines. Solo Dove says, yep, that's correct. Yeah, 1107 text. Okay, that's probably in reference to the 1107 I mentioned earlier. Solo Dove says it's a fresh car. I believe so. I do think now. Let me look this up actually, because the MD did say it looked likely like a shearing injury, and that's the only thing that was testified to. So let me just look up shearing injury meaning or examples. So yeah, shearing in what does shearing mean? Shearing is it's a tearing of nerve fibers. So let me just go straight to there. Uh open traumatic brain surgery. So it says diffuse axonal injury. I don't know what that means. It's shearing or it's a tearing injury of the brains. Okay, that's brain. I don't know. I wouldn't know this. Okay, take everything I'm saying as speculation. Okay, take everything I'm saying as speculation. I don't know what it is, but in regards to what the doctor was testifying, Dr. MD, you can go watch the interview on Legal Bites. Is shearing injuries usually caused by friction, etc. What I read to you was the brain. So disregard all of that because it does mean something in a different. It does mean something else in a different context. But in regards to this, the shearing injury, if it was caused by the car, it would be friction from being in a car and struggling, and most likely the seats, etc. But but also a laceration, as it was initially described in the press, um, would cover cuts. So if she done it to herself, it would fit laceration as well as shearing, in my opinion, because yes, you can get shearing injury. I'm not a doctor, so I'm not a medical doctor, so I'm not going to basically give any speculation in regards to what it would look like or anything like that. But definitely, if a laceration or if it's successfully established that it could be likely that she caused it with, you know, her own self, then shearing is definitely out because you can only get shearing from friction burns or something like that. from friction. Sorry, like a tear from. Sorry, it's shearing, like a tear from friction, basically. Going back to this, to the chat. Bingo. Yep, I inserted the law right there. It's probably just what I just said earlier. Is there a picture of the suitcase? Nope. I can't remember if there was a picture. Sorry, Solo Dove. I can't. There was no pictures that I saw. The Sonadek says the police said there was blood. There was blood on the night, but they didn't take photos. Ridiculous. Um, I think I remember. I think it was Swayne that did say that, but I think he was saying it was like on the floor or something like that. It wasn't on the bed, because what he was saying, because to be honest, it was unreliable. To be quite fair, to be quite honest with you, it was unreliable. I'm not saying that because I support Majors or anything like that, or because I believe Majors had a miscarriage of justice here. I'm saying that purely because he didn't even remember there was vomit on the bed. He actually, they on the cross exam, they actually had to show him, like, remind him. He couldn't even remember there was vomit on the bed. And these are details you would tend to remember if you went into the scene, but he didn't remember that they have vomited. He basically said that they didn't see any vomit in direct exam on all those things. But when it comes to a cross, you're like, oh yeah, there was vomit. And so missing those key details could also mean that him now remembering there was blood is very unreliable, because there's no picture of the blood, but there was pictures of the vomit. So of course he's using the vomit to recollect. So how reliable is independent memory in regards to the blood? That but yeah, in regards to what Sana said, yep, that would be reasonable doubt. This is why I firmly believe the jury did not buy the ear. I think even Megan Cuniff and the other reporters, they all agree with this, that it was most likely the finger that they found him guilty on. I don't think it's the finger. I personally think it's the neck. And even though the strangulation charge was not there, it's still an injury. And if you do look in the video, the way that he was pushing her back could have caused those injuries. Yeah. And they probably just concluded on that, which again, they probably just looked at the video, saw him lift her up, saw that she was just standing there looking around, and they saw him lift her up, and they're like, okay, cool. He lifted her up, he pushed her back. They probably applied the self-defense to her. I'm being straight up. They probably, so everything that she was doing to push him off him, etc., that they probably applied the self-defense, even though that's not the case. But they probably just justify it like that. Whatever she was doing is basically, his fault, because he was the one that basically picked her up, and if she got an injury from him pushing her as she was pushing him, is basically his responsibility. So there we are. Sana says she had a dirty neck. Okay. Wink wink. Soda says, or maybe the suitcase fell on her while she was getting it from storage. Who knows? Soda says, on Katt stream, people said that it looks like makeup streaks. Interesting, on her neck, which is interesting. I never considered that. I wouldn't. The cut is deep. It is there. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't agree with that, in my opinion. But just my opinion. So going back before we go back to the transcript, thank you so much, everyone that's tuning in right now, every single one of you. Make sure that you like this stream and share this stream, because we have a lot to go through. With this cross examination, it is heating up. We're now seeing defense theory of the case that this was likely a setup, and it was just so that she could have enough for Majors to call the police, and and the police comes and arrests him, and she and she weaponizes it. I would be as cynical to even suggest that the jury probably thought, yeah, she was they probably listened to those background information And just to say, yeah, she was trying to get rid of him. So they just argued it and dismissed it because they probably thought, okay, yeah, she was in an abusive, toxic relationship. She was trying to get away, and this was the. I'm being serious. I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised. The TMZ pick of her neck is in the best. Absolutely, I do agree. Yeah, the body cam, it doesn't really show much of a redness either. There, I did see some flashes of redness, but again, it's, yeah, it didn't show much. So going back into the stream. Oh yeah, just to say, of course, don't forget to subscribe for more content that we are pushing out on the channel. So let's go back into the stream, or the transcript reading, I should say. And the cross continues as, again, the question was, and you texted with your friend Holly again at 9:19 that morning, correct? Again, same answer. If that's what he says, I would have to have my memory refresh of the exact time. Would anything refresh your recollection as to the time? Yes. I would like to hand the witness what's been marked as Defense Exhibit 401. Again, just look at that, read it to yourself. When you're done, put it face down and let us know if it refreshes your recollection. As the judge says that, admonish the witness. Does it reflect your recollection? Yeah, kind of. It's in English time again, so it says 12:13. So whatever that time is here. Do you know the time difference between New York and LA? 5 hours, sometimes 4. So around 7 or 8:13. Your Honor, can we give your Honor, your Honor, we can give your Honor the proof of this, but we would ask to take the judicial notice of the time difference on the date between New York and LA. What time does the text show? This text says 12:13. Is from Holly's phone, but she was in the UK. So I was in the so let's look at, so what time does that text show? So Grace responds, this text is 12:13. It's from Holly's phone, but she was in the UK, so I was in New York when I sent it. So I believe it's normally 5 hours, sometimes 4 hours, depending on the time. She got that at 12:13 or AM or PM. Sorry, PM, lunchtime. So then that would be -5, which would be 7. All right, work it amongst yourselves exactly what time of day it was on that date, because as she said, right, it could be, Your Honor, we're happy to give you just work it out. Look at the national, yes, just work out the time and stipulate to it. Your Honor, the party stipulate that on March 25th, it was a 4-hour time difference. So that call would be 9:13 a.m. 9:19, 12, 10, 11, 10, 9, 8, 8. That's not 4 hours. That's 5 hours. Yes, the call, but you texted Ms. Blakey again at 9 a.m., 9:19 a.m. Which text are you talking about, Mr. Judge? Did you send any text to Ms. Blakey at 9:19? Yes. And you told this jury earlier that you were upset, and you stopped looking at your phone to see whether Mr. Majors had reached out to you, correct? I believe what I said was that I stopped replying to him, not on my whole phone, but just regarding him. But you did see his text to you, correct? I believe I saw it, yeah. And you told Miss Blakey what Mr. Majors was texting you, right? Yes. And in these text messages to your friend, you do not mention that Mr. Majors had, let me hear it. So he overruled the hearsay objection. Okay. In these text messages, he's actually interested. Okay, he's interested now. Okay. In this text message to your friend, you do not mention that Mr. Majors has hurt you, do you? In the text messages, no. Objection overruled. We spoke on the phone. That's actually very relevant. We spoke on the phone. In the text messages, I don't say. I just send photos of the injuries he caused me. Ms. Jabbari, at 11:07 a.m., you were texting with Miss Blakey again, correct? I need a bomb on this one. All right. I need a bomb on this one. Needed a bomb on that one. Right. Okay. So let's get back to this. Miss Jabbari, at 11:07 a.m., you were texting Miss Blakey again, correct? Yes. And you were responding to her texting asking how you are. Correct? Yes. How the jury even found this? She was found unconscious. I know, I get it. The logical thing is, yes, it's irrelevant, but come on, man. This is reasonable doubt. This is how you establish reasonable doubt as to the veracity of what she's testifying to. You did not see any injuries on her all through. You saw the CCTV, you saw all of those things in the club. You saw her using her hands properly. You saw redness on the fingers and the neck. How can you, with this type of testimony, with her even being found unconscious, but she was texting at 11:07, how does a jury literally conclude that yes, this person is telling the truth, Jonathan did cause those injuries? Even with the CCTV, if you're trying to retrieve your phone and she admits to have went for the phone, like I said, self-defense or not, she cause is self-inflicted. That's logical. Come on, my guy. Like, come on. Sidebar over. Sidebar over. Right. Okay. At 11:07, you said I'm up now, correct? Yes. And you also said going to back now, correct? Yes. And in fact, you sent her 4 text messages at 11:07, correct? Yes, I think so. Approximately 13 minutes after that is when the police found you. Is that right? I don't know the timings of the next bit. I didn't have a look. This is sidebar quickly again. Danny, you're not watching because you are a busy woman, but she was on point with recollections of everything that happened in court. She broke this. Nobody else, no one else was reporting this anywhere else. She went around on my stream, I believe, Pam Tainment, as well as Chillmonger's stream, and was relaying all these facts. She is the OG, and she was accurate as. Anyway, let me read this chat. Sana, I'm as surprised as you. Come outside, G. We just want to talk. So you heard Jonathan banging on the door. Yep, absolutely. Again, I don't know why you are taking this girl seriously when you saw her on the body worn camera acting as if she just woke up from a collapse when she was actively awake. I don't know about you, but that would make me doubt everything she said in regards to the car. It would. Because what if? And this is the truth here. What if all Jonathan did was literally just put her in the car, and then she went for the phone, and then he's trying to get the phone back? You do not have any proof that he was grappling with her neck or anything. Like, you don't have this anywhere on camera. You're guessing at this point. But based on his testimony, I would be giving the defense the most leeway here. The most leeway. I'd be like, no, I would be that one judge. I'd be like, nope, I'm not moving. Like, there is no way that this guy is in that car. She goes for the phone. Remember, she goes for the phone. He lifts her back into the car. I understand the calculation whatsoever, but she's holding on to him, basically. You can see it as he was trying to leave. She was hanging on for dear life. So what wouldn't make you conclude that at this point, there is absolutely no way that he could have caused he could have grappled onto her finger? There is no way to prove that. There is no way, because we saw him get out of the car really quickly. Anyway, returning onto the transcripts. You reviewed the body worn camera footage in this case. I've seen it, yes. Ms. Jabbari, where were you at 11:07 when you were sending these four text messages to your friend, Holly? I believe I was like in the bathroom area. I had just been kind of sick. You were in the bathroom when you sent these text messages? I don't recall the exact place, but it would be either be in the bedroom or the bathroom. She is the one volunteering these memory inconsistencies. This is what happens when you're drunk and you're trying to recall. Why didn't she just, I don't know about you, but if I'm having this difficulty, I'll just say closet. I was in a closet. Because we know that Jonathan is not in the building, so you can't say he just knocked me out and put me in a closet. I was in the bathroom. He came, lifted me out, and threw me in a closet. Called the police. They came. Blah blah blah. It's too late now. So if I saw the body cam, I would be like, no, I was in the closet. End off. If it was played to her, I mean, just say it. But anyway, this is where I will play devil's advocate again. Sidebar again. This is where I'll probably play devil's advocate again and just say this is probably why the jury took her credible, because she is genuinely, I believe, is coming off as credible. Because I mean, Danny did say that she was a very sympathetic witness. She hated to admit it, but she did say it. And yeah, this is probably what sold them, that she could have been telling the truth in that car, because she could have gone for the easy way out, but no, she's like, no, all I remember was either in the bedroom or in the bathroom. I just don't remember. That can go in your favor. So despite whatever minimizations that she may have been doing, that may have stuck out a bit more. She was doing Mr. Bean panic, yeah. Solo Duff says, plus she was wearing her shirt open like the three stooges didn't see anything. When you start answering evasively, then this is where the cover is. Yep. We'll see more of this. Ms. Jabbari, when you were in the bedroom laying in the bed, did you ever hear Mr. Majors enter the apartment? No. Did you ever hear Mr. Majors knocking on the door? That's a lie. Did you? No. She says no. Did you ever hear Mr. Majors banging on the door? No. Did you ever hear Mr. Majors try to open the bedroom door? No. You didn't hear any of this? Do you know how, Mr. Majors, you testified that you locked the bedroom door, correct? Yes. Do you know how Mr. Majors was able to get inside in the bedroom? No. Do you know how the police were able to get inside in the bedroom? No. Did you ever hear anybody try to unlock the door? No. Did you hear Mr. Majors call out your name? No. I remember when I woke up to the people, I could hear him. I think he was saying like baby, like something like that. I don't know if he said my actual name. Nah, would not have said baby. Doubt it. But devil's advocate, he could have said it because he thought she committed suicide. And it's your testimony that until you woke up, you didn't hear Mr. Major's voice in the apartment at all, correct? Correct. Okay, so basically, sidebar again. Basically, before just came to my head, if this is why people believe we're saying all this stuff about dating white women, etc., and the fears, etc., I get it. It's a real fear. I was editing videos today to release out, and I was just reminded of the false accusations. I think I was interviewing one of the interviewees, who I'm releasing all anyway, on Sunday. Megan Fox was basically saying, not that Megan Fox, but she was basically saying that, don't you, like, how could people say that false accusations are rare? Like, don't you remember, like, back in the day, like white women were literally making this up in abundance to get black men lynched, and that could be a real. I think this was what Liana was trying to get at as well, because she was trying to solidify this point. But this was probably that trauma that a lot of people were facing, because I saw comments, in regards to the different opinions that were going on in the various streams on this channel, and they were saying that, you know, like it was a really hostile environment. People were saying that, you know, don't get in relationship with white women, etc. And yes, people were saying that. I did see that, but I'm not going to. It's one of those ones where I saw it and I'm like, I'm not going to push back against that because I actually know why it's triggering. Like Liana was trying to explain that, like, you know, trying to navigate that because she was the only white woman there, and I felt so bad for her in that verdict stream, you know, because when it was handed down, everyone was angry, like really, it was visible. It was visible. If you were there, whoa, people were shocked. People were shocked. So a lot of things were being said on that, even post that verdict stream. So I get it. Reading all this, seeing what's established, I get it. It looks and it smells, it reeks of a false accusation. And I don't blame anyone that had that kind of collective trauma that in that moment to be like, nah, I wouldn't. Nah, this is the fears that, you know, we talk about. But anyway, going back to the transcript reading, and you didn't know that he was in the apartment at all, correct? And so, is it also your testimony that you woke up to was the police? Is that right? Yeah, I think it was police. And isn't it true that Mr. Majors found you before you called the police? I don't know. Just want to say hi to Laura B and another OG. Welcome to the channel. Welcome back. You made it, Laura B. Forza Juve. She's been here from day one. Really great person, and I'm happy to see you back on here. Welcome, Laura. But yeah, make yourself comfortable. We're gonna go back into the transcripts reading. Isn't it true that Mr. Majors spoke to you before he called the police? I don't know. I don't recall that at all. Isn't it true that Mr. Majors touched your face before he called the police? I don't know. By the way, Laura, when I say Forza Juve, that's for you. I actually don't support Juve. I actually support Empoli. Just don't ask why. I actually support Empoli. They're not really doing well, but you know, it wavers. Sometimes it's Empoli, sometimes is what's the other one? It was Swansolo as well. It was like those, if it's either Empoli or Swansolo, but I'm really liking Empoli. But yeah, it's the kit. Let's just call it's the kit. I like their kit. It's as arbitrary as that. But yeah, anyway, welcome. I just thought I say that because so that you don't confuse and think I support Juventus. I actually don't support Juventus. I don't really, not a big fan of them. But yeah, moving back. Oh, that's football talk. Europeans, we love football, and that's soccer in America. So yeah. Anyway, moving back. Anyway, isn't it true that Mr. Majors touched your face before he called the police? I don't know. Do you know if Mr. Majors checked your breathing before he called the police? I don't. These are very important questions to get past that reasonable doubt standard. Because come on, how do you lose consciousness? Like, this is absurd. What made her lose consciousness? Like, come on. You don't even know if Mr. Majors was doing all these things? All right. The one question I would ask here at this point would be, the one question I would definitely ask is, were you do you recall if somebody was checking your breathing? And see what she says. Because if she can't recall that at all, then I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, man. I would, like I said, it's not credible. Miss Jabbari, when the police arrived and found you, you were not holding your phone, were you? No, I guess not. I don't remember. Is it safe to say that if you were holding it, it would be in the videos? Yes. And you stayed in the closet until you got dressed to leave with the police. Is that right? Yes. And when you got dressed, you leave with the police. You were holding your phone, correct? Yeah, I imagine so. Yeah. Okay. And in fact, you come out of the closet and you look for a charger, correct? I think so. And so the phone was in the closet with you, correct? I can't really recall, but I imagine so. If that's what the video shows, where did you put your phone in the closet? Objection. Oxen, it's overruled if she knows. I don't know. I don't remember. I'm sorry. Where did you find your phone before you left the closet? I don't remember. It was in your hand, my guy. Miss Jabbari, did you stash your phone when you were in the closet? Objection as to form. Just use a different word. Did you hide your phone so that it wouldn't be visible when you were in the closet? No. When the police asked you, what was the last thing you remember? You did not say. You did not say that a few minutes ago I fixated your friend. That's a very. I'm going to the chat sidebar. I'm going to the chat. I think she was recording. That's a very. This is likely. This is highly plausible. This is highly plausible. Laura B says, I try to stay neutral as if possible, apart from Amber Heard. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't know about this case, so you're excused. It was national, but it was a case that if you are not a Marvel or entertainment geek kind of thing, you're not gonna pick up on it, and you're not gonna want to invest in it because it's a misdemeanor. It's you're just gonna see the headlines and move on. So that says full on shaggy defense. Yeah. You're gonna have to jog my memory on that one. I actually don't know what a shaggy defense is. Another one in the closet. Yeah, like Rocky Pennington. Yes. There's a theory. Well, not theory. Adam Waldman came forward with some emails that he wrote saying that Josh had confessed. I think Josh Drew from the Amber Heard case that confessed to him saying that Rocky was hiding in the closet, and this was before his deposition. So there was no questions around this phenomenon to Josh, basically. Solo Dove says closets bursting at seams. We've either on the phones. Blue Queen TV, welcome. I think this is the first time I've seen you here. It wasn't me, Shaggy. It wasn't me. Okay. I'm happy you are commenting because you are probably lurking, and I'm glad that got you to comment. So that is a Shaggy defense. It wasn't me. Okay, now I get it. Because when you said Shaggy defense, I was thinking of Scooby Doo, and I was thinking of the time with Katt, also known as Miss Marco Polo, was basically like, Scrappy Doo, like, let me add, like, when she was so yeah, that's stream. So I was thinking of like that, but I'm gonna go back to this transcript. Says, did you hide your phone so that so it wouldn't be visible when you were in the closet? No. When the police asked you, what's the last thing you remember? You did not say that a few minutes ago. I texted my friend Holly. Did you? Asked and answered. Judge sustained. Okay. Did you remember when the police asked you what's the last thing you remember that you were at 11:07 texting your friend Holly? I'm going to object as to form, rephrase the question. It says, at the time the police asked you and found you on the floor, that's what's the last thing that you remember at that moment. Did you remember texting your friend Holly at 11:07? Yeah, no, I didn't at that point. That's not the first thing that popped into my mind. And you didn't tell this jury that you were texting with your friend at 11:07, did you? Objection. Probably relevance. The police didn't ask you that question, did they? I don't believe so. So when the police came in, they asked you what your name was. Isn't that right? I'm sure yes. As I said, it's kind of very overwhelming. You were unable to tell them your name, correct? I don't think so. I think I would have been able to tell them my name. But I don't remember would anything refresh your recollection? Yes, Your Honor. May we with headphones? Thank you. What we're going to do now, ladies and gentlemen, speaking to the jury, is Miss Jabbari indicated that she needs her recollection refreshed. So as not to have you leave the courtroom, so that can be done, I've asked both sides to have laptops and headphones available, so that if there is a piece of evidence that needs to be seen to refresh recollection, that won't be played in open court. That will be given to the witness, so the witness can take a look and see if that piece of video does refresh the witness recollection. So that's what's going on. So that's what's going to happen right now. While they are doing that, I want to check with the jury. Is anybody hearing any noises or chatter from the audience? I see everyone saying no. Good, so good audience. Your Honor, I'll come back to this. Ms. Jabbari, you continue to text with your friend after you went to hospital on March 25th, correct? Right? This is your friend, Holly. Yeah, I think I sent her a text whilst I was at the hospital at 5:09 p.m. New York time. You told Holly, I think I fainted. I was sick. I remember that, but fainted whilst I was packing stuff, right? That's what I said to her. Yes. There was no luggage in the closet when the police found you, right? Correct. And you reviewed the body worn footage, right? The body worn camera. Yes, yes. Why would she faint? I mean, all right, I'll give it to her. People do faint at weird times. People have panic attacks. Probably had a panic attack. I've never faint. Like, it's a 1 in a million chance. One of those things. I remember having a mental breakdown and I fainted. Like, I just literally just didn't wake up. I wasn't under immense stress though from work, you know, literally suffer psychosis. So that was the background. I don't know what Grace, what psychiatry Grace is. I don't know. You can't. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's gonna be a tough sell for me to just believe a random faint. I don't know, man. Reaction over. So, and you reviewed the body worn camera footage, right? Right? The body worn camera. Yes, yes, yes. There's no luggage physical in the body worn camera footage, right? I don't believe so. Devil's advocate, you could pack your bags with the luggage outside, but again, the luggage is way away from this, so who knows? And yeah, so you can. It shows that you're not responsible for your clothes. You know that you like dirt on your clothes. I mean, personally, I would always pack with my suitcase right next to me so it goes straight in. But sometimes you can put it on the bed. But then again, this is a big house, so there was no bed. It's just the table on there. But again, the question has to be asked: okay, if you're packing and you were putting the items and you're folding them on the closet space because it does look like a big closet space if there are tables around. This is a long sidebar. Okay. I'm giving a lot of leeway here, but it just doesn't seem probable that you will just faint. And the absence of clothes suggests a lie with the packing. She wasn't packing. Easiest thing to testify to is like it likely wasn't happening. And you just testified that you were not aware Mr. Majors was there at all, correct? Yes. So you don't know whether he tried to open the door or not, do you? It was quite clear that they said they had opened the door, and it became clear that the situation, when I was kind of informed by everyone around me. Who said that? The people, the officers, the fire department, the guy was there, and things like that. It became quite clear. It's your testimony that the police and the fire department told you what? Well, I knew I locked the door, so I knew they had to get in, that they had to get in, and it became clear with what they were asking me and say to me what happened. I pieced it together. At 5:13, while you were at Bellevue, you texted your friend Holly again, and you said, so he called the fire department. Is that right? If that's what the text says, yes. And how is it that you knew Mr. Majors called the fire department? There was fire department in the house. I thought you testified you woke up to the police. Yes, I believe the first people I saw were the police, but I think I also testified that I saw the fire department and the paramedic also there. There was more than just police officers. But your text to Holly was that he called the fire department. Is that right? Yeah, if that's what it says, yes. Then you told me it's Blakey, 13 p.m. I just want to be clear. It's your statement that you didn't know Mr. Majors was in the apartment until the police woke you up. Is that right? Asked and answered. No, that has been asked and answered. I just want to make sure that we're on the, I think that's clear. Okay. And therefore, you didn't hear Mr. Majors speak to the police before you were woken by the police. Is that right? Yeah. When I was waking up, I heard his voice. I knew he was there. And beyond that, you didn't hear Mr. Major speak to the police, did you? Did you say beyond or before? Beyond that, I don't quite understand the question. Can you say it again? What exactly did you hear Mr. Majors and the police discuss when you woke up? I heard his voice and I heard comments on my injuries, and I couldn't tell you any more than just what was in my memory. And you testified that the police took Mr. Majors out of the closet into another space, right? Eventually, they did, yes. And you weren't there when Mr. Majors was speaking to the police, were you? No, I was not. They were in the bedroom, and I was in that area. You didn't hear what Mr. Majors and the police were discussed, did you? No. You told your friend Holly over text at 5:13 that he told them we had an argument. Is that right? Yes, yes. But you were the only one. But you are the one who told the police that you had an argument, Miss Messieurs, right? They also said they knew. They said he told us you got in an argument thing along those lines. I also said the same. The police officer Swayne did actually say, is that what caused the injury in asking the question? But this is the tell here. Officer Swayne did testify to her telling Officer Swayne testified to her telling them that the night before they were having an argument. So it wasn't given to her. She's trying to frame it here. It wasn't given to her. They said he told us you got an argument. Got, nope. That's an inconsistent statement. Officer Swayne, let me just get his transcript up just for completeness, and we're gonna leave on that note. So let me see what I can find. Oh, damn it. It's gonna be bear with me, guys. I'm just trying to see in regards to this. Yeah, so right here is a confirmation that he did not see blood in the apartment anywhere. Okay, it says, Officer Swayne, when Ms. Jabbari told you the last thing she remembered was being sick in the bed, did you ever ask her what made her sick? She says, yep. He said, no. He said, went to the bedroom. I think this is cross-examination, so redirect. Okay, so I'm trying to find that, because he did testify, because he was talking to her and she told him, let me write told. That might come up as I told you. Just going over everything I told you at this point. I told you earlier this morning required certain. Okay, so it's right here. It says Ms. Jabbari told you that she did not recall how she sustained her injuries when we first arrived, and that was prior to you stating that was prior to you stating to her that he hurt your finger, right? Yeah. She had asked you several times when she was in the closet why she was in the closet. Correct. We saw on your body cam at some point you exited the closet and went to speak with Mr. Majors, correct? Correct. And at that point, you had a conversation with him, correct? And you were trying to figure out what happened, correct? And you had told Mr. Majors that you believe Mr. Majors sustained hearsay. Isn't it fact? It a legal conclusion as well. Isn't it a fact? No, it wouldn't be legal conclusion. Sorry. Isn't it a fact that you told Mr. Majors if you smacked him, you wouldn't? Okay, that would be sustained hearsay. Do you I'm trying to. Where is that? At some point of your arrival, where you were, size of the pen. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. So did she? She didn't she didn't complain about the laceration to her ear, just face pain. That has to be noted for the record. Just face pain, and the cut wasn't. She was not complaining about the cut. Okay, I'm not finding anything to do with who offered the information. Let me just look for it again. Jabbari. It's gonna be littered with loads of Jabbaris. Can you explain? At this point, did you notice anything? I don't notice any injury. She was lying back in the middle. What if anything, Miss Jabbari? What's the demeanor like? Can you explain, Miss Jabbari? Okay, who cares about demeanor? Okay, so he asked her what happened, and how many times so did you answer the question in time correct fashion throughout the whole between 5 and 10 times. She was a little fuzzy and recollecting what happened. So she couldn't remember what happened. So you have to ask yourself, at what point yeah, she's asking what happened. So I'm gonna go there. Argument is not in this search, by the way. So I'm gonna see from, I think. Okay, so it says both the fix. Okay, so it says, and is the source. Okay, no, it says here, based on the information I was. Okay, and you mentioned the night before. Sorry, I'm going back up now. At the point you're speaking to the defendant without getting into the substance of what was said, is there a reason why you were speaking to him for a second time? So the first time they spoke, I just feel like at this point I didn't have the whole story of what happened the last night. So they knew something had happened last night, and you mentioned the night before this. Why was your attention drawn to the night before as opposed to this point? Based on the information I was given, everything took place the night before. Nothing happened on the morning of the 25th. Again, what happened the night before? And what was the source, and what is the source of information that you just relayed to the jury, both the victim and the defendant? The victim, he was talking to her first, goes to Majors, goes back to her, goes to Majors the second time. We saw the body cam. They don't talk to Majors until, and I'll show. Let me just go. They don't talk to Majors until she has told them to get rid of him. That was the first time. They didn't talk to Majors at all. They went straight to the victim, because remember, it wasn't a call in regards to violence or anything. It was suicide. We have to remember this. It was a suicide call. That's why the fire department was there, because he said he's locked out, all those things. Fire department came because they might need to break down the door, on his consent if they need to, if they weren't able to get the thing, etc. And this is I know I appreciate that this is a long kind of sidebar, so bear with me. So right, this is the first talk. This is it. See, this is the first talk. They're talking to me just now. They're already talking to her from here. They don't get this information outside of both Grace and Jonathan, and they objectively they speak to Jonathan here first, they speak to Grace here, as you can see right here. They were speaking to Grace, trying to understand what's going on. Then they go back to Major, as it says, they were trying to find out what's going on. Go back to Majors, then go back to Grace, then go back to Majors. This will be the second time. And again, moving on. Let me just go back to Officer Swayne. You could ask the question again. Last answer was Trishan. They did that. That was it from Mr. Majors. If you could use Jabbari's name, thank you. All right. What's going on at this point? She's getting evaluated by EM. Okay, so night. Let me put in night because I want to know. She says she was asleep. Okay, so he says. So this is. Did she explain? Can you explain the amount of time? Did she explain why she believed she didn't understand what was going on? Yeah. What was that? She said she was sleeping. She took a sleeping tablet the night before. What are you an officer Luchuro doing at this point? We're talking to her on the floor, etc. What, if anything, forthcoming, etc. with the information? She wasn't. Do you tell me? Did she tell you why she wasn't forthcoming? Objection to grounds, etc. Basis, etc. It's not relevant. So she wasn't forthcoming at first. What, if anything, did she say that made you go to the other room? She whispered saying she doesn't want him right outside the room, something like that. When she said that, can you explain that demeanor was? She seemed scared. I think she actually might have cried at this point. Now you came back with Officer Lucero. What, if anything, are you doing at this point? We were asking her more information about what took place the night before. This is before they went to Majors. Right here. What, if anything, did you say in that regard? She said they were in the back of the car. Right there. So what does she mean they told him? I'm glad. See, we've done a code read of this already. We have gone through that a lot of details in the previous stream. That was the first stream in this. You can go check that out on the channel. But right here, as established, Officer Swayne, and I'm glad I done it in this order. So happy I done it in this order. So happy. Holly, her, then Grace. And see, because the inconsistency is screaming. Why would you need to say this? What this is showing, and this is, I know it's a long time, but I appreciate that. What this is showing is she had full knowledge of what happened that day. That's what that's proving. Because what do you mean they told you? No, you told them. You told them. Per his testimony right here. And just like that, we're going to end right there. Thank you ever so much for everyone that tuned in. I'm just going to read the chat before I sign out. But I hope you appreciate that little recap there, because I had to satisfy that itch. I had an itch in my head, and I just had to satisfy it. Sorry, itch, and I just had to satisfy it. I had to make sure. Hey, Blue Queen, welcome to the channel. It's the first time of me seeing you. Poundland, oh my God, Sana. Oh, Poundland Uma Thurman. For those that don't know, Poundland is woo. Anyways, she's not in her right mind. She's nuts. Yep. Wait. If you have passed out, that would they would have initial. She was acting. That's what this is telling me, because you're now telling me that you had full knowledge that the police officer said no. Right there, she said they were in the back of the car. They got rid of him. Like I said, I remember this. I was like, no, that's inconsistent. They got rid of him because she said so. And then she told them what happened in the car. They went, that's why they would go to him the first time. Go back to her, then go back to him just to clarify the story. Then they made the arrest based on what they had understood that was told, because they were not there to arrest. They were literally there because she was suicide. They wouldn't have made the arrest if nothing was said. The police found her in a closet, but she says that she was in a bathroom. Yes. The girl wanted Jonathan to come back home and find her helpless. Yes, I believe so. The suitcase below was for drama. Absolutely. I don't think there was even a suitcase, to be honest. I think she firmly decided, I'm not gonna leave. And I'm gonna do everything to make sure I don't leave. She heard the door knock. Look, if I'm seeing this, if I was paying attention to the officers to Officer Swayne's testimony, this would have definitely made me a hung juror. I would have been like, no, I am not budging. F you, F you, F you, F you. I am not moving. I'm not moving. Sure, son, I'm playing the victim. Yep. Oh, okay. Laura asked a question here. Did they make a test for alcohol and drugs? Yep, they did. That was in Bellevue Hospital. They had a audit C test. She scored a 5 out of 3. They didn't detect drugs on her on that day or anything like that. They didn't find that, but they did think that she had a propensity or a likelihood of developing an alcohol disorder or something like that. Yeah, so it was for alcohol. So I'm gonna leave it there. Thank you so much everyone for tuning in. Make sure you go check out our the channel for more content that we do. We have got interviews on the channel. We've also got case coverage, and we've also got previous live streams as well on there, and it's all wrapped up in a neat little package in a playlist ready for you as well. And of course, don't consider becoming a member to get access to the Heinz Hall, where we give exclusive bonus content that we release on other platforms, not on here. And also, most importantly, and you get access to Heinz Condiment Island before you enter Heinz Hall. This is not 0.99 or 99 pence. It will really, all these things will help support the channel. You also get emojis, customized emojis, the ketchup bottle, you can use that, and the ketchup logo when you do sign up to become a member. It will really, like I said, help maintain the longevity of the channel. I thank you, every single one of you, for tuning in. Thank you so much, Laura. Thank you so much, Sana, for logging in. Thank you so much, Solo Duff. Take care of yourself as well. I hope to see you guys on the next one. We're gonna be streaming instead of 9 o'clock. We're gonna be streaming from 10 because it appears to me that people tune in a bit later. The next stream is gonna be on Sunday. It's gonna be at 10 p.m. So do check out that one. And we're going to be going through the rest of the cross-examination, the redirect, and then end off with the data analyst. Strict, I think his name is. Anyway, that's all for now, folks. Take care of yourself. See you right back here for another online hearing in the court of public opinion. And you get nothing but my opinions. Like, share this stream so that it really helps with the algorithm. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. Bye-bye. Take care of yourself. Bless.